Hi guys, how are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing good. I'm going to show you how to mix paints with water, and all the paints I'm going to use, I bought at the dollar store. They're acrylic paints, not tempura paints, and this does say metallic, doesn't say the color. The brand is Crafter Square. I'm going to just mix them with water, and we're going to use a blow dryer to create some fluid art. So I've already mixed one paint, the gold. It's got a really nice flow, and it's a very pretty metallic color. So I'm gonna mix the other two on camera so you can see how I do it, so you can try it. All right, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, there's the gold. I'm coming back around. So what I do is, you guys, I just buy myself a gallon of water. Okay, it doesn't have to be distilled, I don't think. Does mine say? Mine is distilled. Maybe it does need to be distilled, I'm not sure. So then I'm gonna take the wrapping off of this little canvas here. And I will have to put some paper towels down before I paint. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way so I can show you how I mix, okay? So I have these little cups right here. Here's the first one I did. It's gold. Really pretty. Super pretty gold. And it just mixed up nice, really nice. So what you have to do is you got to stir a little bit, maybe stir a little bit longer than you normally do with the Floetrol, but you can mix your paints with just water. You don't have to use a medium. You can, but you don't have to. So let's get about that much paint in there. So you can see that. You think that is probably a good tablespoon, I guess. And I have these sticks right here, and then I have here's my water. So I'm gonna pour a little bit in there. Whoops. Okay, so the water is up to here and covering the paint. Can you see that good? It's covering the paint. It's like a little lump of paint in the bottom of the water. So let's see. This might be a little more water than I needed. But let's just go ahead and stir it up. It does take a minute to stir it. Yeah, it's pretty thin, so we're gonna add a little more paint. Don't need this much paint really for that size of a canvas. Okay, so see how watery it is? Look at this. Super watery, it's still kind of gloopy, gloopy. So let's add some more paint. Squeeze about that much more into it. Okay. When you don't use a medium, your paints stay true to their color. Of course, you're thinning them out, but you're not doing anything that's gonna detract from the color. So mediums can kind of lighten up your paints, especially if you're using a cheaper paint. Okay, I put way too much water. I put way too much water in, so we're gonna get some more blue in it. Actually, what I'm gonna do is pour off some of this water, I think. So I don't need that much paint. I'm gonna just pour some of that off. And let's just mix a little more. And you gotta scrape your stick. Okay, it's still really thin, so I'm just gonna add a little more. I didn't want to have to add a whole bunch more. Let's see how that goes. Always close your lid. Sometimes I get in a hurry, I don't close my lid on my paint, and then it kind of dries in that position. Then I have to put tape on it to make it so that it'll close. Does that make sense? So make sure you close them. Okay, that's getting better. You only need a little bit of water, okay? I mean, just a little bit. So just start with a little bit. Okay, this is looking a lot better. It just needs just a tiny bit more. So, you can find people that will tell you exact measurements, but all in all, even if you follow their exact measurements, the painting that you do might not turn out the same, or even feel like it has the same consistency. And I don't know what that is, except that I think that we just all have our own personal preference of what we like out of our paints. Now look how pretty that is. Still a little bit thin because it's kind of dripping, so it still needs a little more. I'm just going a little bit at a time because I don't want to overdo it, you know what I mean? And then hopefully I get it really just exactly right to show you on the last color, okay? So no Floetrol, no glue. We're just mixing it. Oops. Okay. We're just gonna mix it with water. These dollar store paints are great paints to start with, mixing with water. These ones that come in the tube. I like how they're mixing. If you use a thicker kind of paint, like a higher end paint, it might be more difficult. Now see, look at that. That's got a nice, see how that doesn't just drip, how it doesn't separate. Just stays on the stick and flows back in. That's good right there. Yeah, that's super nice. Okay, so now we'll do the silver. So I think what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit of water in. I put way too much water in before. So see, look at that. Hardly any water in there, see that? Because we can always add water. Oh, I've got to take the cover off of the paint. It has that little cover on it there. It's a little pull tab though, which makes it really easy. Okay, so now I'm going to squeeze it in. I hope you guys can see that really good. So I'm just going to go about that much. Boom, like that. Just get that lid back on there. Oh. Okay, now this one just doesn't want to shut good. Okay, there it goes. Sometimes you have to push it in the middle right here on these paints to get it to shut, if you're having a hard time getting it to shut, okay? All right, let's mix this. Okay, a little bit thick. See that, how it comes out, it's a little bit thick? But look how nicely it mixed up. Let's look it in there. It looks really nice, mixed up really fast too. So let's add a little more. It's gonna be a little thicker and then I'm gonna thin it down. About that much more paint in it. And I'm gonna mix it first. So it's gonna be really thick. This is really the way you should do it, and then thin it out, not just try to get it all right in the first shot. See how it's just like a big glob. Bloop. But I've softened it up a little bit. Very pretty color. So now I just want to add a tiny bit of water. So I gotta be really careful because I usually use, oops. Okay, see that? Just a heart, like a teaspoon, no, like a half a teaspoon of water. So it's our paint recipes, huh? Just like cooking, only for paint. Okay, still really thick, but you want to go a little bit at a time so you don't thin it out too much. It's just another little half teaspoon or so. Okay. Between a half and a full. And this might do it right here. Let's see, almost. pretty good though. See, it has a little bit of a mound. You see that? Down in there, a little bit of a mound. So just a couple more little drops. You might want to pour some water into another container. Just a little bit. Okay. That was like maybe, not even, maybe a quarter teaspoon of water. Okay, it's getting there. It's getting there. Okay, still a little bit thick. It used to drive me nuts. Oops, I might have put too much. Somebody had said that they wanted to see me mix it because they're learning. So I'm mixing it for you, but I don't really measure. But this is really the first time that I decided, well, I'm just gonna mix paint and water together and see what happens. And I'm gonna cut out the middleman and we're gonna find out together, okay? Okay, that's good. There's a tiny bit of a mound, but for the most part, excuse me, I would say that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna do I have any, I don't even know if I have any paper towels in here. I was thinking about putting just a little bit of black in there. It might make it real smoky though. So maybe we'll just do a little bit of red. Now this red that I have is not from the dollar store. And I don't want to do very much of it. So I just want maybe just a little bit. Just a tad, okay? Sometimes you get those little things that stick on the end of your paint. Just a tad. I just want a tad. That might be all I need. So it's just floating in there. Woo! Okay, let's just see. And it could take longer to mix because it's just a thicker paint. See how it just looks all globby in there, floating around. So I think I need a little bit more. Just do a little more. So this is probably going to take a little stirring, and this is this is a Liquitex. So this could, this is like when you got to just have your electric mixer or whatever, right? We need little mini electric mixers for our paints. Wouldn't that be cute? It's just like a little bowl, and the little thing came over, and it just turned on, and it just went around. That would be great. Okay, still not quite enough paint. I put a lot of water in there. But it's breaking down good, so that's good. Just takes just a little more effort maybe in your mixing if you're not using Floetrol. There it is. There's my paper towels just right there in front of me. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. And just gonna need more. Dang. Makes me think those other paints were thicker. Okay, I hope this does it. So almost all the paints are from the dollar store. Except for this red one. I think this one came from Michael's, okay? Okay, now we're looking good. Still, yeah, dang. You guys, it's still really thin. Jeez Louise. I think I'm gonna put a little of the silver in it to help it along. And give it a little bit of frost because all the other ones are metallic and this one isn't. So let's see what this does. It's darkening it a little bit. That's okay. That's good. And it just mixes right in. This paint is pretty cool. This dollar store paint. Crafter's Square Metallic Acrylic Paint. Okay, there we go. No, not quite. Still a little bit thin, my gosh. My Lord have mercy. That's why I don't mix on camera very often, just because it's super time consuming. It's probably the most time that you spend on your painting. It's just really preparing for it, right? Unless you're just doing abstract, but like if you're doing a thing where you're gonna mix your paints or thin your paints down or whatever, you've got to get it all ready, right? Okay, there we go. That's good. Now I'll show you in here. And it's just flowing down off the stick, and now it looks metallic-like because I added that metallic. So you can do that. Your silver will maybe darken your colors a little bit, but they do make like a white metallic that you can get. Okay, so let's set that to the side. Let's put this down. Set these colors over here. And get this out of the way. Okay. And we'll set this down like this. We'll do another one. This is just a little 8x10. Do another one right here. And then what you can do to elevate it so that it doesn't stick here is just get yourself, I buy like a box of these on Amazon, these little plastic Dixie cups, okay? And then what I do, I mean, I also have these other stands, but these things work just fine. You want your space to be even, okay? All right, so there, there. Now I'm gonna come around and check the camera and make sure that once I lifted it, that you guys can still see it really good. And it's like a baby blow dryer. I call it a baby blow dryer. Of course, it's not for a baby, it's for like a travel. It's like a travel blow dryer, okay? So, and they have them everywhere, but this is what I use, and sometimes I have to put my blow dryer on high to move the paint. Get in there. I always have to figure out which side of the plug is the biggest, but see, it's just little. See, it fits right on that canvas, which is 8x10. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna get over here. I haven't really thought about what I want to do, but I am standing here, so I'm looking at it this way. You might be looking at it upside down, but I think it'll be okay. So, with these paints, I just want to say that if you're gonna blow it out, it doesn't matter how you lay the paints down, really. You are gonna blow them though, so I just want to make sure that that's gonna go off the edge. And I'm just randomly laying down the paint, okay? All right. Let's see. Just want to make sure that that covers right there. I don't want to get into a war over making that cover the edges, you know, when I'm got the blow dryer on it. Okay. There we go. Very good. Just do a little bit of gold here. This edge. Let's do some here. This edge. Let me just make sure it's covered. All right. pretty thin. As you can see, it's probably dripping down over there, so. It's just a random design I'm doing. I'm just making it up as I go. Okay. And I'm just putting color in different areas where I think, you know, it'll look good. Okay. Paint is going to come off of here onto the you know, because I am pretty much filling it up. So, I mean, the paint's going to come on, be blown, you know, all over the place, babies. But this could be a cool design, possibly. We're going to find out, huh? We are going to find out. Did I use all the red? I don't know. I did. Let's see. Okay, I think I have a little silver left. Maybe not. Let's see. I'm getting low. I'm getting low. Okay, I'm gonna scrape these. Get all my paint out. Now, these colors aren't something that I would normally like dream up to do, but the silver and the blue and the gold were the ones that I saw when I was at the dollar store. So these are why I'm using these colors. Okay. Whoops. And I knocked that over. I knocked over my gold. All right, and just a little more here. Okay. Now, the thing about blowing it out is really kind of figuring, you know, what your pattern's gonna be. I don't necessarily have one. I am gonna wipe off these sticks though, because I can use them again with a similar color. It won't even matter really, because they'll be dry and then I can use them to mix again. So I like to save my sticks. And this is, I mean, it can be a money saver thing, but really the most for me is that I forget to go buy them, right? Okay, so we threw that away. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna kind of go out here and around, and then maybe up like that too. So let's just see. It's gonna get a little noisy. And whenever you use your blow dryer, if it has the cool thing, you know, setting, always use that. So I'm gonna try it on low and see if it moves. It's such a tiny little blow dryer. It just doesn't have very much power to it at all. Oh yeah, it's moving. See, I'm liking it. I like having this space right here, having this more blue right here. You can go like that. It'll make the paint move. See, straight up and down like that if you want to. Or you can take it at an angle to get it to move. Okay, I see something right here. What is that? A little thick piece of paint? No, you cannot do that. Okay, now I've got to get that off of there. I don't know what it's doing. And then you can just blow right back over it. And cover that up. There. Okay, like that. I like this little thing right here. Okay, there's that. Now I'm going to get my heat gun. And if there's any bubbles, then I'll pop them with the heat gun. I have a torch. You can use a torch. And I bought some fuel for my torch. I just haven't put it in yet. Okay, so, oh, and then if you see these drips here, so what I do is I just go along the side, okay, and I'm gonna get those off with my finger. You see some right here, just so they don't dry like that, okay, and right here. And then I'm also gonna look at the edges and make sure they're covered, and if they're not, then I'm just going to take some of these drips that have come down from my pour and cover the edge like so. Just take a look over here. Looks like it got covered pretty good. Yep, it did. And we'll just cover this. Oops. And you can always paint the sides after you're done. But you could make a few of these, you know, with less than $20 investment. You could pick out some colors and make some of these, and each one would be different. And you could do it as Christmas gifts if you want to. Okay, we're gonna pop the bubbles. Very pretty. Okay, I'm gonna bring you down to my side so you can see how it looks. It's very pretty. I like it. Okay, here it is from my vantage point. Very pretty. See the shimmer in it? Those are dollar store paints. Metallic dollar store paints. Look at that pretty glitter in it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? The silver has got it, the gold has got it, and the blue has it. The red doesn't really have it too much because, oh, look at that nice mixture there with those three colors. Isn't that pretty? I love it. All right, nice. So there it is. 3 paints at $1.25 each and a board at $1.25. And then you need to get yourself some little Dixie cups and have some water to thin them down, and then you can do a Dutch pour. You can try to make flowers, all different kinds of things. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will be making more. Peace.